Nightwing 103, Tom Taylor writing with Travis Moore on the art. So Nightwing and the gang go to hell to get the accounting paperwork for
You know what? Other people would kill us for that, but I love that Tom Taylor's way more interested in the bookkeeping of hell.
Do you know
than,
what?
Like seeing the hellish stuff of hell.
It made it,
and I appreciate that.
It made it more relatable in a weird way, but honestly, it gave me Cyborg complaining about a cluttered desktop and like someone who doesn't take care of the computer, and that gave me a lot of a joy.
Honestly, it's probably the most I've ever liked Cyborg. Like genuinely, I think that's like my favorite Cyborg moment.
So, do you think that hell like tailored itself to whatever Vic Stone thinks?
No, it's just that awful for everyone.
You just think it's that awful by standard, like it would have been that way if Beast Boy had tried to access it too.
Yeah, because it is hell.
Yeah, no one likes to control a computer that's filled.
No,
with
I know,
crap.
but just with how Cyborg does everything out of thought, right? So him having to slow down because of all the icons on the desktop and all the pop-ups and
him being like, hey, guys, if I ask for your date of birth and social security
mother's
numbers,
maiden name,
whatever, like, just maybe don't answer that.
Yeah.
So Neron is getting pressured to go and get the girl because basically everyone in hell's starting to like question that he's like, his stands. He's kind of like a gangster where he has to show us his strength, right? He's been questioned because he's not got this girl back yet.
Yeah,
so.
you and gangsters. I would have said like Game of Thrones. He's trying to uphold his lands, and now we've got all these rivals coming up and being like, "Yo, you're not as tough as you used to be." And he's like, "Yeah, once I get this paperwork filed," and Blaze is like, "Paperwork? You real?" Which has Blaze always been a female character?
I have no idea.
I don't really remember very much.
I remember there was
he doesn't
Blaze
want to
and
go down for
Satanus.
dodgy tax returns.
Yeah.
So where some of the other team, mainly Starfire and Donna Troy, along with Babs, take the girl to Themyscira, and they're like, you know what, you have to be able to protect yourself. So they start off on a jolly little subplot of training her how to fight. So I mean, they're not going to get much done in the time it takes before she gets kidnapped again, but they can get the basics down.
Yeah.
So that's where we kind of like have that. The rival, demon or whatever, is like, hey, that's his tower there. His paperwork will be there. Help yourself to it. Like, I'm taking nothing to do with this.
Yeah.
Beast Boy transforms into a big demon-looking gargoyle thing to trick the guards.
I do like that though too, that he can transform into any beast, including a hellhound gargoyle. So
Makes sense.
I mean, why not?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
like, Neron's not here. Never mind then. Let's just take him out.
Honestly, the visual of these old 1980s computers in a room, but and otherwise is in hell, which doesn't have normal looking architecture or anything else, but it's got old computers though.
Yeah. Well, the walls were made up of all of the contracts of hell, right? I thought that was cool. The room that computer's in, right? Or is that the room later?
No, that's the room they go into next.
That's I did like that too, because it took me a second to realize what those were.
Yeah, because I'm looking at this room and I'm like, what's Matt talking about? This doesn't look good.
No. Next page where they go to get the contracts, all just the scrolls.
Yeah. Very different. So basically, they find out that the kid's mom is Jezebel Jet, who's dead. So that's a bit of a
did that name ring bells for you guys?
It sounded familiar. I mean, I couldn't have told you much, but
Batman R.I.P. That era.
So Nightwing has a plan, and we don't really quite know what his angle is here yet, but it becomes clear later, which is basically that the contract's null and void if both Guardians haven't signed off on it. So his plan is to go and hastily adopt her so that he's the Guardian and therefore has not signed off on her soul.
This is a Wayne family tradition. So just hastily adopting children that maybe...
In his defense, this time it's a temporary fostering.
Yes. Just it's not a permanent thing, but just enough to. But I love the idea that a demon is going to care about this. Like,
I do, because
demons care about their contracts.
Yeah, demons have stupid rules. Like, if you know their names, you have power over them.
This is why Etrigan always rhymes.
but
they have stupid rules like that.
Yeah, but think about it though. Like, I get that demons have their own rules about when they have contracts and bargains with people, because that's their whole thing. But I'm saying the fact that they care about the bureaucracy of Earth and how that paperwork functions has to intermingle with their paperwork system.
Yeah, well, we can rationalize it as, in order for the ritual to be completed, you can't have a parental figure by whatever decree, or
Sure. I mean,
I can rationalize it.
I mean, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying I think
yeah.
it's funny.
Yeah.
Like it's all.
Yeah,
It's all.
Like, I just love how Neron's like, "You got me," and
You
then he's like,
win
"Well,
this
we know."
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like,
Well, that's not really true because
No.
he's sent the grinning man to
Yeah.
go and fetch the kid from
Which-
Themyscira.
a really good look how he takes on the attributes of who he's copying, right? So when he shows up as Wonder Woman, and then as it slowly starts to reveal it's the Grinning Man, he still has some of the Wonder Woman costume as he starts to bleed through. It's very creepy.
It is.
It fits really well.
Yeah, but you also get that great panel when he kicks the child across the
Yeah.
field at
Yeah.
full force.
Also fun.
FTK, F them kids.
Yes. But yeah, you get Wonder Woman transitioning into the Grinning Man.
Mhm.
But he's also brought with him Dr. Polaris. And I don't know if that's meant to be any specific gorilla,
Yeah.
but...
No, they say Grodd.
They say it's Grodd,
Did it say Grodd?
which I don't know how they would pull Grodd. I mean, unless Grodd has a deal with Neron, right? Because Neron had told Grinning Man that I'm going to send you with someone else. I assume that was Polaris that made a deal with Neron.
Yeah, they
So-
definitely say it's Grodd though.
When?
Next page.
Really?
Next page,
Is it-
bottom of the second panel.
Because they
Oh.
mentioned Dr. Polaris and
Ah,
Grodd.
okay, yeah, because she's informing them. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah. So, aye. Basically, the end of this issue is that Neron is trying to basically talk Nightwing into signing over the kid and saying, "Hey, give her
Mhm.
permission for her soul to be given to me. You know you want to," and it's effectively trying to dangle a carrot in front of him
Yeah.
by saying, "Hey, think of what you could do if you had, Speed Force powers, or maybe if you had Superman's powers." So he basically gives him some powers, and that's a cliffhanger. Is that basically for
Mhm.
one issue, presumably Nightwing is going to go around with superpowers and probably do some good with them. But obviously, he's going to make the choice not.
He doesn't
to keep
need them.
Yeah,
Nightwing's
exactly.
greatest power is his heart and his ability for compassion.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it'll be like, oh, this isn't worth the deal with the devil.
No.
But we
But
do
I'm
get-
going to take them and do good things with it while I have them.
but yeah, we're going to
right,
get an issue where
yeah.
we see him
Yeah.
in this new yellow and blue
I
suit.
can definitely see the
I-
first part of the issue being like, I'm not going to use the powers. I'm not
Mhm.
going to use them
Mm.
at all. And then something will happen and he'll just use them because he can. He won't think
I do
about it.
like that it's a play on his original Disco Nightwing, right, with the blue and the yellow.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Missing the high collar, but
You've got the sort of the glowing aspect, which kind of
Mhm.
makes it feel a little bit. I can kind of get the super powered vibe from it.
mhm, for sure,
I would never pick
it's
it.
a good
as
look. You
Yeah.
know,
I would never pick it as a permanent costume, but for a
no,
jaunt,
Temporary thing. I
no,
kind
but
of like
as a
the
variant, yeah.
yellow visor. Kind of pops. It looks great for this.
yeah, the Domino mask.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
So that is the main story, and of course there's the backup right now, which is this rope being cut at the circus, and there was an explosion as well, which I'd forgotten about until the ending.
me too.
The ending was like, oh, by the way, there's still something to solve here. We're not done
Yeah.
with this story. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But
Did you guys feel that this was the first time? Because I was enjoying this for the most part. The dialogue in this felt very misplaced. I don't know if it's because the art of the kid and the dialogue what the kid was saying felt like it should be like closer to a teenager, not so much a little kid. Like you're thinking this kid's like 10 or 11, maybe.
yeah, so yeah,
Um,
we find out the kid basically cut the rope, and the intent wasn't to cut their parents' rope; it was to cut their own
Right.
rope to make it look dangerous, so that their parents would say, "You know what? No, you won't be in the circus anymore. You can have a normal kid life." Because the kid feels left out, not going to socialize, not staying in any one place
Right.
long enough to become friends, things like that, which all makes a reasonable amount of
Yeah.
sense. So, Nightwing and John talk to the kid, and a bit of a pep talk.
Mhm.
John makes Nightwing feel a little bit better about
Yeah.
himself. That's basically it. There's not much.
Because he was the circus kid that but it was almost inverted, right? Where he got taken out of the circus, where he
Yeah, obviously it brings up some memories for
Yeah.
Nightwing, and he's thinking about his own origins and past. But but it's okay. Like obviously it's not a patch on the main story.
No, I just felt that the dialogue was super weird. Like some of the flow that was coming out of it was just like, this is written by an adult. That's not how little kids talk. So maybe if they'd made a change and made the kid a little bit older, like tweens, early teens, I don't know.
Yeah.
But, but it's not terrible. I like the overall. Once we got to John and him talking.
The problem is if you go too old, though, it becomes a danger of, like, oh, well, you should know better.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't be sympathetic to this
Right.
if it was like a 16-year-old, because the 16-year-old would just be like, no,
Right.
you did something dangerous. We can't just write this off as you're young and stupid.
Right.
Like,
Right.
So, yeah. I don't know. It's still decent enough to like. I'm happy enough to read it when I get to the end of the main story in Nightwing. As opposed
I
to
gotta know who caused the explosion.
Yeah,
for sure.
With a lot of other books, when I get to the backup, I'm like, you know what? I've had my fill.
Yeah.
I'm trained to enjoy a comic of a certain length, and this just feels like extra work.
Yeah.
So, but so the fact that I still want to read this is, a compliment, if nothing else. But, yeah. All right. What we rating Nightwing, Matt?
8.5.
Connor?
I'm gonna be straight 8.
Yeah, I'll go straight 8 too. I'm enjoying this arc. I will say it obviously is a little bit of a tangent, and I do miss just the ongoing Nightwing City, Heartless stuff, which has been ongoing.
Mm-hmm.
But I probably enjoyed this issue, maybe even maybe not the most. But I think this and the last one were both really solid. I'm enjoying the slightly different nature of it.
So we know it's a temporary fosterhood for the kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do we think his sister is going to adopt the kid? Being that she was Blockbuster's assistant and put into the mayoral role.
If
Maybe.
Taylor wants to keep her around as a supporting character, then I'd say maybe. Yeah.
I like that, and it actually builds a family for Dick Grayson that's not the Bat family.
Alternatively, if we don't want to keep her around, it'll maybe be someone more distant.
Yeah.
I'll find an uncle or a cousin somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. Blockbuster, I'm sure, has some sort of cousin.
I meant the mother's side.
Yeah.
Oh, sure, yeah.
I mean, she was a model. They're not just hatched from eggs. So.
Yeah. Allegedly.